60-second episode of The Talking Guys is officially premiering right now as you're watching it or listening, depending on however you view our content.
Might even be reading it.
Yes, right before. No, I
Yep.
don't. I don't think you can read this.
Yep.
Right before the show, Seth was actually professing his love for Conor McGregor and said
Yes.
that he would leave all women if it meant that he had an opportunity to get with McGregor. He went in really inappropriate amount of detail as to what he would do with
Yep.
him, immediately consoling him after his loss to Poirier a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Wow.
So some of those
Yeah,
things are actually true, but it was all like taken and mixed all together.
yep.
so, yeah.
Is
Conor
McGregor
McGregor,
fighting
hit
ever
me up.
again?
Did you actually stroke his leg? That's the only question I have from everything I just heard.
The one he broke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta massage it back or something. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. Well, he's 22-6 now, so
Imagine
he's
losing six
lost.
things. Crazy.
Oh man, he has lost like 3 of the last 5 fights he's been in.
Imagine only winning 75% of your professional matches.
His
That'd be
last
terrible.
win was against Cowboy Cerrone, who was at the end of his career and was only fighting him because Cowboy was towards the end and Conor needed an easy win. And it's obvious at this point. McGregor is no longer at the top, and he won't go down in history as one of the best fighters. Because I don't know if he will continue to fight. He probably will.
Bet he will. Bet
But
he will.
he's not going to be anywhere near his prime. He's those days are over.
I mean, haters gonna hate because they ain't us, okay?
Yeah.
McGregor for life. Woo. Except for when he loses.
Except for when he loses.
Which
I,
has happened a lot recently.
when he wins, I love him.
So, as you are aware, this is the hat episode, apparently. All 3 of us just happened to randomly wear hats. All coincidentally, none of it was planned.
And
I mean,
coincidentally,
odds are I wear hats like almost every episode, so it was, that part was probably assumed, but yeah.
and coincidentally, the hats are actually like in sequential order of like coolest to fucking lamest. You guys can figure out which one's the lamest and which one's the coolest, but mine
So
Well, if
I
we're
don't
going
even
in
know if you
order,
see us in the same like way I see us.
Pat, if we're
But
going in order, that means you're always going to be in the middle.
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
okay. Then
All
I
right.
said you guys can figure out which
Well,
one
then
is
that
I'm
that
saying
clearly
is
that clearly puts
the
me at the
coolest and the
top
lamest.
because I mean, as much as I like a
Oh,
big D, um, you know, mine's the best. So
yeah. Seth, we don't agree on a lot of things, but I feel like I'm aligning with you for some
that's
weird reason.
crazy. That's crazy.
Just
We should
today.
we should record this episode. Oh wait,
But tomorrow we can go back to disagreeing.
maybe in an hour.
I guess the little D is the smallest one on the platter today.
Yeah, they did lose their first preseason game, so
And they also don't have a good defense.
that remains to be seen. The season hasn't started yet.
Well,
We are
they
about a month
lose
closer.
every year, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, and
Or
your only Super Bowl comes off of Peyton Manning, so
that's a
Wait,
lie.
wait. Time out. You have a Super Bowl, Patrick? Can I see the
Yeah.
ring?
I've actually got 3.
was 6 years ago, right? Is it 6 years now?
We had one with Peyton Manning and 2
No,
with our
no,
boy
no,
Elway.
no. Your Super Bowl. Did you have a Super Bowl? I want to see the ring.
Well, I don't wear them on here. I'm not trying to flex.
I mean, go for it. Flex for 10 minutes.
It would be rude and disrespectful because I stole them. So,
Not a Super Bowl ring, but a championship ring nonetheless. With Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics. Recently watched Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. Is that a movie either of y'all seen?
mm-mm.
It's on
Not.
Netflix, and it's a recommendation from me. It earns its R rating.
It
So
earns
if
it.
you Yeah, so if you if you have sensitive ears and you're not one of those that enjoys a movie with profanity uh, littered throughout, then watch the movie. It's one of Adam Sandler's best performances. It's not a comedy at all, and he's a very serious uh, actor in the movie, and it's good.
I thought
Actually,
That would
Sandler
be an
was always
interesting
a
thing to see.
serious actor. Just
sure
people
he's
misunderstood him.
movie came out in 2019. Takes place during 2012. Kevin Garnett's actually in it. So that's where the ring comes from. The championship rings. Good movie. Go watch it.
I have to
Recommended.
do that.
I saw that Stranger Things, I guess, was delayed till next year sometime.
Shocker.
Girlfriend and I were at a restaurant yesterday, and they had an advert on one of the televisions I guess it was the newest teaser that came out for Stranger Things season 4. And at the end of it, it just says 2022. I know a few months ago, Netflix had actually released a teaser of their upcoming titles for this year, and Stranger Things was on it, but I guess it's been delayed, probably because of COVID, which is apparently coming back. I don't know. You guys have heard the Delta variant that's out now?
I've heard things.
The vaccine that everyone got is useless against this one. So,
Now, I know we were talking about McGregor earlier because I'm gonna keep completely hop subjects on you. But this dude got a tattoo of himself. And my question
What?
to you is some UFC person named Sean O'Malley, he had a fight where he did a pose at the end of the fight and he just got it tattooed on himself. And to add to this, he also a few weeks after that got 6969 put on his shoulder because he's friends with the rapper 6ix9ine.
never
So
heard
my
of him.
my real question is like on a scale of like 1 to 100,
One
How
being
likely are we
high
to
or low.
tattoo ourselves
One being high or low.
on our
cool
own
is
body?
this? How cool is this? Is this like cool? Not cool.
So-
One being like lame as fuck. 100 being like this dude literally shits gold and people still think it's cool, you know?
Well,
That
hey,
would
a
be
lot of
cool.
fighters though they will tattoo their stage name or ring name on themselves.
Vain. I
I
hate
think
that kind
it's
of vanity.
one. I
So
I give out ones all around.
if I'm able, I give him half of one. But like, cause I hate that kind of vanity, and I think it's stupid. But I also am not a fan of the dude anyway. So
Well, Ezekiel Elliott for the Dallas Cowboys has tattooed a picture of himself on his thigh with his infamous "Feed Me." Yeah, that's a one. 1 out of 100. That's a one.
Okay,
Oy.
so that one's a 1 too.
Oi,
That's also a one. Yeah.
without a doubt.
Okay, so going off of that, off the top of your, the top of your noggin, what would be in 100? Give me an example of somebody having an 100.
It still has to be the same thing where it's a person has tattooed an
No,
image.
like they got they have a tattoo. They got a tattoo. Like, give me a famous person or something that got a tattoo that it was actually like cool.
We are talking about like someone tattoos a picture or an image or a nickname of themselves on their own body, or just any tattoo in general.
I, f- I feel like any tattoo because I wasn't asking whether I was just saying like if you get a tattoo and you get it of yourself on your body, like how cool is that?
It's lame.
Pretty lame,
So lame.
right?
So lame.
But like if you got a tattoo, like do you have any off the top of your head of people that like got tattoos, like famous people that it was actually cool? Or are they all just kind of like
I can't think of specific ones.
isn't
Well, I had a
that
friend
sad?
that got tattooed on his ass. Was the Forever Alone meme? So I mean, that's like 100% right there. That's 100%, 100.
That is, yeah, that's pretty on point. I
Yeah,
actually went
took
and
it, took it,
got
took
the
it on a
same
dare
exact
too.
one.
Took
Yeah,
it on a
no,
dare.
I didn't do it on the ass because it's like,
You did it in the butthole itself.
that doesn't get a lot of action, but I did it on the front end, right on the tip.
Like, what if you got like a
Forever alone.
tattoo inside like the hole, and it's like something crawling out of it?
No, Jesus.
That would be pretty hardcore, right?
No.
God.
Would that be painful?
First off, I don't think that's possible. I really don't.
I hate it here.
Yeah.
What, in Tennessee?
No, in this podcast right now.
Okay.
in this podcast right now, I mean, we I was just trying to be funny, sort
Yeah.
of, and then it just went even.
Now
Yeah.
I won't sleep for days now. There's nothing.
I mean,
but...
come on, dude. It's not that
Ooh.
bad.
It's that bad.
Not, it's not that bad. Did you guys hear about something that actually was sort of bad about the whole like Blizzard scandal and Activision scandal? Y'all didn't hear anything? Really?
No.
I know Activision sucks, but that's all I know.
Well, they all suck.
That a
if you're
scandal?
really-
Oh, well, it's okay, because Blizzard got bought by Activision, right? Y'all know that? That's
No, I
why
didn't-
like
I-
Call
I
of
did.
Duty
I did
and
not.
Diablo and all that are on the same Game Hub menu, you know? You have to download the Blizzard client to be able to play Call of Duty
Yeah, I have an Xbox.
because Activision
so
owns
I
them.
don't know what that is.
Okay?
These are
Yeah,
words I
because
don't
you're
understand.
a loser. Anyways, if you don't own a PC, you're just like, a high schooler basically.
I'm in high
Wow.
school, actually.
I wish they'd let
Graduate
me.
next
I
year.
wish they'd let me back in so I could get my degree.
So
Diploma.
basically everybody's jumping ship now because they had all these like
real quick, can they swim?
true.
Can they swim?
I don't think so. A lot of
that
them are
sucks.
drowning
That is
sadly.
a bad choice.
Yeah.
But all right.
and getting pulled under the ship also. So
Like the Titanic.
it's rough.
It's hard to get under the Titanic. It's all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, but it's just crazy to see it because they were like the big ones, and now they're like falling all apart because apparently they've been like treating their employees like crap for years, terrible work conditions, and then like lots of the different bosses were like sexually assaulting people, like real sexual assaulting instead of like BS that we hear about all the time that you're never actually sure if it really happened or not because it's hard to get the true facts. So yeah, so now Activision is like everybody's gonna get fired. We would never allow this to happen in a company that we own. And the Blizzard, the president of Blizzard, he quit. Lots of other people below him quit. Employees quit. Some people are completely quitting all Blizzard games and
I
saying
quit.
they'll never play it again.
No, can't.
I know with
My
Activision
my
being
chair
the,
even says Overwatch on it. I can't
being the
stop playing.
publisher and Activision being the developer. But I mean, if you want to talk, other developers, it's like, what happened to Bungie
Who?
or Bethesda?
Who?
The last couple of games, Fallout, the guys that made like Fallout and Oblivion games.
I know they are,
But it's just money. I mean, case in point with Bungie for a lot of reasons. I mean, they sold out to it was Activision, right, with Destiny, and then they took control for part of Destiny 2, and then so it's all money, man. That's all it is. It's money. Money talks.
not literally.
Well, I feel like part of it too is, you got to remember that in general, I feel like some of these people that create these companies too, after a while, they're like, I've made my money, I'm good. Not to say that they're like, I'm just gonna sell it to the worst buyer or whatever, but it's like when you turn a company from nothing into whatever, eventually somebody's gonna be like, yo, I want to buy this from you. And you're gonna be like, I mean, no. And then after a few more years, you're like, I mean, I just want to go do something else. So sometimes these things get sold, and the people that originally owned them, like the owners, the people that inspired it, created it all, they move on. And then it's like it loses its vision, and the new leadership turns it into garbage. But they keep the name.
Or you
Like-
hold that
Like Infinity Ward, they got fired. They fired both of the two head the lead developers, and then Infinity Ward basically was never Infinity Ward after that. So
Yeah, now they're
I don't
doing
know.
Apex.
And I feel like with Bungie, that's not as good an example because Bungie was literally like they wanted money, but not to make them rich. They wanted the money to be able to fund bigger projects because Activision has a crap ton of money. And I think when they initially were like, yeah, we'll work with Activision, it was like, they thought Activision was going to give them more freedom. But it ended up being that, Activision didn't give them freedom and ended up ruining their game. And that's why they left the deal.
Well, a lot of
You know?
developers left after Halo Reach.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, do you blame people though? I don't know. I feel like if you get to a certain level of success, like unless you're like one of those weird people like Bezos, who he's just like he's never happy, right? So he's just like, give me more success, give me more success, give me more success. Like he's like a true like narcissistic, egotistical person that's like he wants the whole world. I feel like to revolve around him, and he'll
yeah, with his dick rocket.
yeah, and he wants to just be like, the richest man alive and everything. So like he's never satisfied,
Yes.
right? So I feel like somebody like that, they're just going to keep going, like a Bill Gates, a Jeff Bezos. They're just going to keep going and going and going and going, and then maybe they burn out after 30 years and they're like billion, times richer, and you're just like, okay,
Well,
cool.
if Steve Jobs' diet didn't solely consist of basically just eating fruit, then he'd probably be, in the same boat.
But I feel like most people, you get that kind of money to where it's like you could literally sell it, your portion out, and just like retire and do whatever you feel like doing for the rest of your life. I feel like a lot of people get like pulled towards that eventually. It's
Or
like
you hold out like
you do it for 10,
Blockbuster
15
did.
years and you're like, I'm kind of just burned out. I just want to like go do something else.
I mean,
So you
that's
just
that's the difference though between being well enough off to retire and be comfortable versus building generational wealth.
Yeah,
If
but
you- if
most
you just-
generational wealth doesn't last anyways.
As if you
Statistically
raise your kids
speaking.
right. Yeah, you
Within
tell that to the
within two
Rockefellers.
generations of at least in America, within 2 generations of becoming a millionaire, most millionaires, their kids are no longer rich.
Tell that to the Rockefellers.
Yeah, but
Right.
because the issue with that is
They don't count because they probably murder
Also,
and threaten to murder all of their children and family members if they become poor.
you gotta do
well,
what you
the,
gotta.
the,
You gotta
the
do
issue
what you
that you
gotta
run into
do.
with that, and the reason that it only lasts what you said on average 2 generations, is because if you are born into it, right? Unless you're like the royal
You
family,
don't respect it.
not only
yeah.
that, but you have no work ethic. You don't work. You're just living off of
Well,
your
that
family's
that falls
wealth.
under just failed parenting. Like,
Yeah, but that probably could be led to why such a high percentage of it doesn't last.
oh yeah, probably because they let their kids be super
They just
spoiled.
and then at the end of it's like, okay, well, now the grandkids basically don't have any money left to spend because it's all been spent by the parents or the grandparents. And the grandparents are the ones that worked for it all.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
like I said though, that's just parenting. Like if the grandparent would have parented the parents right and instilled that same work ethic that they had to get to where they are, then the parents would then more than likely put that into the child now, and like it would keep going. But if you get there and then you let your kid just be a spoiled little brat, get whatever they want, whatever car they want, whatever boat they want, then of course they're not gonna.
Like the kid's cute. Why would you tell him no, Seth?
No is my favorite word.
I actually
Best
see
word
that
out
with a
there.
lot with the generation that's like right underneath mine, right?
Listen,
the
imagine a Riley and you're like rich as hell and you're just growing up and you're like,
Yeah.
and she's asking you for stuff and like pleading with you. I feel like you would cave, Seth.
Not on that level.
I've
Nope.
seen the way you're like, man, she's all right.
Nah.
I like this kid. I feel like if it was your kid, you would be so madly in love with them that you would like break
Well,
so many.
see, I don't think so.
to make
though.
them happy.
I think because I am smart enough to know that it wouldn't help. Like
Seth is just a cool uncle.
So yeah, with Riley, sure. I would, I could spoil her because I'm not the parent.
But you're gonna ruin somebody else's kid, but not your own.
But
Okay.
yeah,
I mean,
like,
there's
but
logic in that.
with my kid, I know that we've got a. No, I know Kyle and Cassie are gonna, they'll fix what I mess up. And then, but with my own kids, though, like I know, like I'd be pushing for them to be the best that they can be. That would be my goal as well. So me, giving them what they want now wouldn't help them get there. I'm not saying like if I was a multi-millionaire or billionaire, I wouldn't spend money on them and buy them nice things. But there also would be things you have to do in return, whether depending on yard work or whatever the hell, depending on ages. They'd be going to work at McDonald's or whatever they need. Like,
I feel like, okay, maybe. I don't know. McDonald's, that's a little low.
I feel like that's a
That would
good
be
thing.
embarrassing.
I feel like
dude.
that's a good
Why would you
humbling.
embarrass
That's a
your
good
child?
humbling way to do it, though. Like you
Yeah,
have
but
to
if
you
you
have
only-
to
if
keep
you-
this job for 6 months, or I'm cutting you off.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if you had built a company, right, then the point of it lasting is passing it down. So instead of having them work at McDonald's, have them start maybe a low level wherever that company's at, and then kind of grow and understand the business
So the
inside and
the
out.
problem with that is they're still dad's kid, boss's
Yep.
kid.
Yep.
Like you got to put them somewhere else. Like maybe I'm
Give 'em
sure that me
favors.
with like big company making lots of money. I've got friends with big company making lots of money. I might be like hey, hire my son for a little while, like start him as in the mailroom and work him up. Like maybe that, but I feel like if you work for your parents' company, you will never get the same treatment no matter what. So I mean the goal one day would be to pass it on to children.
Yeah, but I mean,
Right.
if you're going to be a successful, for the most part, you would assume if you're going to be a successful company, is the person at the top knows how everything is done, right? They know the
Yeah.
ins and the outs of the company, the floor level, all the way up to the corporate. So having that knowledge instilled in your children, if they are, the goal obviously would be, hey, this is going to be yours one day. You need to know how to run it. So you're going to learn everything there is to know how to run it. And yeah, if
Right.
that's starting at the mailroom floor, then that's where they start.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree, but I also think it's more of a when they're starting out and just learning how to do what not. I don't think we're recording anymore. Time's not clicking.